Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for, this is for the week of February 10th. You have this great big love card and this bearing fruit card. Definitely a good time of results for you at this time, Aries. So, this could be results in any area of your life that you've been nurturing. This bearing fruit card says that you have to grow something to get the results that you've been hoping for. So if you've been working hard on any projects, businesses, yourself, ideas, whatever, it could be a really good time for you to see results or for you to be getting results on what you're working on. So that's good. Could be love as well. We don't have a ton of love cards here, but you do have that great big love card. Now, of course, it could just be something that you do love or something that you love to work on. And, that's also possible here. You have the Magician, the Judgment card, and the Queen of Cups here. This is kind of like popping into my head as some sort of change that you're trying to make. The thing about the Magician is that the Magician represents reinvention. So he has the snake wrapped around his waist right here, and there might be some changes that he has to make, inside himself, basically, so that he can reinvent himself and become the thing that he wants to be. So, that could include him changing his energy, him working on his energy, or the energy he gives off in his life. And so I think a lot of you are doing that because we also have the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is kind of like a card of answering the call to your purpose. These people are being called up out of these coffins by their higher self angel right here, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life, of course. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be being called to a new life. It's kind of funny that your next row is a little bit challenging. It's not really a challenging reading necessarily, although one thing I will say is that all the readings this week have had some sort of challenge, which normally it doesn't happen for every single sign that every single week there's a challenge, right? And so what I would say is it's probably the moon that we're going to have on the 12th. That moon is kind of making some weird aspects to Uranus and stuff like that, which can be very unpredictable. And so the reason I'm talking about this is you have the moon card here and I would just say don't get too carried away. Now, some people say that these moons, are basically 5 days before and 5 days after. So basically the whole week and a little bit into the next week, until the 17th. You might be feeling a little bit off, or you might be feeling like things are not right. But again, I want you to push through this time. And it's a short period of time. It's probably just the moon's energy. And again, the reading isn't bad. You have good cards in all the other rows that are showing up here. But, there might be a little uncertainty around the time of the moon, about your path or your journey or what you're doing in your life. And really, this could be the universe trying to get you to connect to your heart. You have that great big love card, which has a gigantic heart on it. The Queen of Cups is a card of following your heart. The Ace of Cups can be a card of your heart as well. And we go up through the Page of Swords to the Ace of Cups. Now, the Page of Swords is a card of curiosity and, a card of looking into things that that you are curious about. And the Page of Swords, he is looking over to this Judgment card here. And, this could be you looking at your purpose or feeling like you're lacking purpose or you're lacking direction or not sure of what direction to move in. Again, I would say that this is temporary. This is not something that's going to last, probably past this week. So I wouldn't get too worried if you're having those thoughts. With the Magician, you have the Ace of Swords. Now, when I get an ace with the Magician, I always say that this is probably the energy that you should be working with the Magician. The Magician has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. He has all the ace versions of all the suits right in front of him. And so the Ace of Swords could say that it would be a good time for you to work with, your logic and reason. It would be a good time to have laser-like focus as well. The Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. And, as always, I think it's time for you to claim your crown. There's this crown on the top of the sword. And so there could be some sort of achievement or, some sort of level of authority that you are focused on getting in your life. And I definitely feel that for you, Aries. I've been feeling that for you for a while. I'm pretty sure I've said those exact words. With the Judgment card, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, like I said, Uranus is unpredictable. Uranus can make us uncomfortable at times, you know? So I feel that, you know, exploring, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. Now, we're not talking about dangerous positions. We're talking about things that just make you uncomfortable because maybe you have to like learn, grow, or expand to be in those situations. You know, we all get uncomfortable in the unknown. And the Two of Wands says that, you know, again, maybe your purpose is calling you to do something that you've never done before, which would be the unknown. But that is the thing that is going to cause you to grow the most. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands, 3 aces in this reading. Again, really not a bad reading, right? You know, 3 aces is very positive. Multiple aces is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. Multiple aces is a definite new beginning as well in your life. So a lot of you could be having like a passionate new beginning, or you could be moving more towards a passion as well. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this tricky situation card. There you go. It says a sly, subtle approach is necessary in order to safely navigate a tricky situation. Again, this moon is a little bit tricky. There's some tricky stuff going on. So just keep that in mind. You have this temptation card. It says, what is tempting you at this moment may not be a wise choice. That's the other thing as well. I definitely feel people should slow down with temptations. You know, the energy is a little bit fiery, and the energy is like, there's a certain type of frustration that I can't talk about on YouTube, and it has to do with adult wrestling, we'll call it, right? So I would be careful of like exes. I would be careful of like one-night stands. I can say that word on YouTube, and I'm not telling you what to do. Someone always tells me like, I love spreading my legs all over the town. I'm like, good for you. Go for it. Live your life. More power to you, right? But what I would say is that I wouldn't at this time. Not telling you what to do, but I also am. Just because there's just weird energy surrounding that sort of stuff. So I would like channel that energy. I would look into like transmuting the energy in some way, whatever it is. But I would also be careful because, you know, again, I just feel that frustration energy, that certain type of frustration that I can't say. And, you know, again, I think we need to channel it positively. You have the Moon, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, or sorry, the Ten of Swords. Too many swords cards in this row. The Moon is probably talking about the moon that we're going to have on the 12th. And what I would say is it's a temporary period of time. I didn't even realize that bearing fruit card is card number 12. So that's also pretty interesting. But again, I would just... You know, I really don't have any good advice. I don't even think that this moon card is talking about anything in your reading other than the moon. And I feel it's just saying that, you know, sit with the energy, channel it into something like, you know, a creative project or even your health or like working out or something along those lines. Like I would use the energy for something. You have the Page of Swords. Again, I feel pretty good about the Page of Swords. He is looking at the Judgment card and the Two of Wands. It's almost like you are looking at expanding, or you are looking at new opportunities that could be presented for towards you, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I think that exploring, that would be another good use of the energy, is going on a mental adventure, learning, educating yourself, you know, kind of like visualizing your future, stuff like that. You have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, there could be some sort of like unexpected ending I'm getting here. Although, again, it doesn't look bad to me necessarily. I mean, we go up to the Six of Swords, which is moving on to calmer shores. We have the Five of Swords and the good stuff as well. Even the Ten of Swords, he is making a symbol with his hands that represents a blessing. And so he can represent a blessing in disguise. And that doesn't mean that it's not uncomfortable when it happens, but, you know, I definitely feel that there could be some sort of like blessing in disguise, or usually we don't realize that until the future with the Ten of Swords. Yeah, with the Moon, you have the Hermit card. You know, I think introspection can be a little bit uncomfortable as well. So again, that could be the discomfort. Like, it's not like super uncomfortable to me, the energy, but you might be feeling discomfort, or you might be feeling uncertain. The Hermit is introspective energy, where we go inside and we're more internal, which can be uncomfortable for people sometimes, right? Like if we are too much in our head and we don't have an escape, then that can cause some problems. But I feel just like realizing that, again, this is a temporary period of time, it won't last, and channeling the energy and telling yourself that will probably help you get through this period. With the Page of Swords, you have the World, more expansion. I feel like you really want to expand. Like, I feel this reading is saying you really want to grow, and you really want to kind of like claim your place in the world, which came up for Taurus. You and Taurus, for whatever reason, you're born right next to each other, so it makes sense, but you get very similar readings. Not the same, but similar. And I feel that a lot of you are probably trying to claim your place in the world, or trying to take your place in the world and be on top of the world. Those are all things that are popping into my head that you're like trying to do. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Emperor, you, showing up here. So the Emperor, it being you and being the major arcana version of you, puts you in a position of power and strength. And it says that you can control this situation. You can be the one who is in control. And that's exactly what I would do here. But again, we have a little bit of love, but really I feel this reading is all about you here, Aries. I feel it's saying that you are kind of like sitting with yourself, with your own energy, which can be, again, can be very uncomfortable to sit with your own self and not have anything to drown out the noise. It's like, I don't know if you've ever known a person where it's like, I know people where I'm not criticizing anyone here, but, it's like they go through a breakup and then they jump right into a relationship, or, they have problems and they just surround themselves with people. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they never like sit with the problem, right? They kind of like have to have people in their life because they can't sit with their own issues. And it's like, that's what's popping into my head, where it's like, it might be a week where there is no one to sit with other than yourself. And, again, that's when we kind of like face our demons, right? When the world is quiet and we have to listen to our own thoughts. And so, yeah, there's like a very deep, this is like a very deep energy that I'm getting, very introspective, like I said, from this. But the Emperor would say you have the power to handle it, or that you have the power to, kind of change your situation. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this flow card and this diligence card. Yeah, the flow card is about getting into the flow. Your very first card is the Ace of Cups, which is also a card of getting into the flow or being in the flow. The diligence card is about kind of working diligently towards something that you want to manifest or create. And I feel all that would be good for you. You have the Ace of Cups, the Six of Swords, which actually Six of Swords is also kind of a card of flow. And the Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing. And, the other thing that's kind of like popping into my head is that you have this flow card and there's a bird on that diligence card. And then we have the dove kind of diving into the Ace of Cups here. So it's like maybe you need to be diligent about where your heart is, like what your heart is invested in. And by your heart, I'm talking about like the energy, the love, the time, the effort that you give to something. And so that's definitely what I would pay attention to, is like where your heart is at this time. And, again, maybe you need to sit alone and think about it. You have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about moving on a calmer shore, so definitely improvements. Like I said, a little bit of weird energy on the day of the moon, and even after the moon, and even before it, quite frankly. So I would say at least 2 days before and 2 days after, you could be noticing the energy. And the Six of Swords says you will be moving forward in the future, and you probably won't even be worrying about it. So I wouldn't worry about it. The Six of Swords says your guides have your back. This guy here, he is meant to represent a guide. He goes back and forth between the choppy waters, so you are being guided at this time. You have the Page of Pentacles. I kind of just feel new beginning energy here. We have so much new beginning energy. The Three Aces, Two of Wands, Judgment, the World. All these cards kind of represent starting something new or getting into a new place, and I feel that's what you're doing here. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups again. So literally the universe saying I meant what I said here. That you should be following your heart. I think we're in a heart-based time, as I've been saying for months now. And I also feel that it's not necessarily easy to be in a heart-based time. I actually think it's harder and easier at the same exact time. It's harder because your heart could be telling you to do something that isn't logical and goes against, everything that you believe. Not like in a bad way, but it's like, I always use the example of careers. It's like if you were raised to go to college, get a career, and, work until you're 65, but now your heart is telling you to start a business. It's like those two things kind of conflict with each other. The business, and it's harder and easier at the same time, obviously, because it's hard. It would be hard to start a business. It would be hard to be able to do that, but it would also maybe make your life easier in the long run. So that's how it can be hard and easy at the same time. With the Six of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, like, I definitely would not run away. It's like, I think there's a story about Napoleon, right? He was at the Great Pyramids, and there's a story. I don't know the exact story, but apparently, if you go into the Great Pyramids and you spend the night there alone, you face your demons. Exactly what we were talking about. And if you stay through that period of time and into the morning, then you come out with like some enlightenment, right? And so I think there's a story. I think it was Napoleon. He went into the pyramids, he got scared, he ran out, and he lost his battle the next day because he didn't sit with his fear, right? And I kind of feel that's what this is saying. Knight of Swords is always running in this direction. And sometimes I feel like he gets to something, like a certain point in the reading, and he's running away from it. And so I feel the Knight of Swords is saying, don't be tempted to run back to the past or something along those lines. Yeah, with the Page of Pentacles, you have the Star. Yeah, it's like you have the vision, maybe of your future life or something you want to create. The Star is about having a North Star, having that guiding light. And the Star can also represent like hope, faith, and renewal. So there is a lot of supportive energy here, supporting you through this time, through this growth or whatever you're doing. Next, in the good stuff, you have this Believe card. It says, when you wholeheartedly embrace the attainability of your dreams, you will find the courage to exceed the ordinary. There you go. You have the Star, but you can't run away, right? You have this passive income. It says the best money is made while you sleep. Yes, very true. So I feel that a lot of you have the opportunity to, do things that are going to pay off a lot in the future. You have the Five of Swords, Two of Swords, and Five of Wands. Five of Swords and the good stuff to me can represent taking a risk or, kind of like doing something to take a risk. He's winning at all cost. Could also say that you're coming out on top, which there's with the World and some of these other cards, the Ace of Swords, those types of energies together, which they are touching basically in this diagonal. If we go this way, like this is amazing. Ace of Swords, World to the Star. This could say that you are really standing out or you're taking the risk and being rewarded. You have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords to me is a card of like third place solutions. But Two of Swords really says that what you're thinking about is not going to turn out how you think. She is thinking this or that, but really whatever she's thinking about is probably going to turn out over here on this island. So this card wants us to be flexible as well. But in the good stuff, it could say you're finding solutions to whatever you're dealing with. You have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can represent conflict and competition, but in the good stuff, the Five of Wands can represent rising above the competition or overcoming the competition, which I definitely feel you could be overcoming competition. With the Five of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles again. So we have a lot of repeating cards. I like readings with repeating cards because it's like confirmation from the universe. It's like saying you're going in the right direction. We have the Page of Pentacles twice. You're doing the things that you're meant to be doing, so that is very good. Here's another one. With the Five of Swords, with the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. So we have the Five of Wands twice. The Two of Swords, this could be you seeing a way around the competition. Like if you have a business or a career, this could say that there is competition. And Two of Swords, it says that you've been thinking this or that, but maybe you're discovering another way to kind of rise above the competition. With the Five of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is doing things in a different way. He is stealing those swords from this army in the background here. And the Five of Swords is that, that's literally what the Seven of Swords, too many swords cards here. The Seven of Swords is all about. It's all about doing something in a different way, especially in the good stuff. This would say that you are kind of discovering unique approaches or a different approach to the things that you are dealing with in your life. Oh, you cannot make this one up. You have this Throne card as your first card. And the Throne card, I literally just said that you could be claiming your crown or whatever I said at the beginning of the reading. I do feel it's a great time for you to become an authority figure or to try to become an authority figure if you want to. You have this Tiger card. It says, doing something risky, taking a chance. Yes, Five of Swords. Again, some sort of risk will probably change your life with that Five of Swords twice. Or did you have it twice or am I making that up? I feel like I'm making that up now. But anyway, whatever. You have the Five of Swords. I would take some sort of risk. This could be the risk of putting yourself out there. The risk is probably the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, like I said, is about kind of, going against conventional wisdom, doing something in a different way. Also with the Seven of Swords as well. So that could be the risk you're taking, and it looks like it will pay off. You have this April card, sorry, and this stork. It says news of a birth or a new business opportunity. Yeah, definitely. April is kind of when things really turn around. Well, actually, I would argue that May is really when things turn around because we're kind of in Mars retrograde shadow until April 30th. We have Venus going retrograde at the time. At the end of the Venus retrograde, Mercury goes retrograde. So May, even though Mercury will be going retrograde around then, May, then I still think May is kind of like the time where we will notice that things are changing or getting better. You have this teardrops card. It says great personal sorrow, whatever the Ten of Swords is. Ten of Swords is grief. So you could be releasing something or letting go of something. I feel it's more like fear that you should be facing. So, that's what I would do here. And you literally have this card that says, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude, which I think is going to be the secret sauce for you at this time, Aries. Like being strong, pushing through things. That's what you should be doing. So pretty interesting reading. Very deep, I would say, but looks good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.